Hello, I hope you're having a great day. Wanted to give you an update. I'm out here on the farm. I'm burning one of the burn piles that is by my zinnia field, and then the zinnias are actually just pulling right out of the ground. So while I watch this fire, I'm just going along and cleaning up. I've done 2 rows, and now I'll just get these other rows. I have to be out here anyway to make sure this doesn't go anywhere. It used to be a huge burn pile, and it's slowly going down. I went around, there were no tracks around it or anything, so I thought it was safe to burn, and it'll be nice to kind of get that out of there, and maybe I could take my zinnias on out, or we'll just see. I'll have a nice view of the hills anyway. But my Lisianthus are doing good. When I get back home, I will just take a little screenshot of it. I've lost a few, but I think that they're doing better this year on the 2-day watering cycle than they have in previous years, so that's a bonus. And my stock is doing fabulous. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it, and March is coming up soon, so we will be starting a lot of seeds. I did go ahead and start some lavender in my basement. I don't know how well it's going to do. I just picked up a couple seed packets from Walmart of the mulched variety. I was hoping, I was going to buy trays, but to buy the plugs, I think it was $90 a tray, and I started 400 plants, and that was for 100. For 100, it was $90. And I think I started 400 plants for $4 plus 10 cents for every cell. So maybe $42 at the most. So if I even get some, I think it'll save me money in the long run. So I did that. They haven't germinated yet. I just sprinkled the lavender seeds on top and put them under the domes. And that's pretty much what I've been up to. So I'm out here today. I'm getting back to it. And I just wanted to hop on and give you an update. I will keep you updated as I go. So I've been really busy, and I've just been getting to it. I'll flip you around and I'm going to tell you. So I went through and I just used a hedge trimmer, and I cut back all my lavender today, and then I kind of raked it out. I still need to leaf blow it all. And then I came in here with my weed eater with the saw blade, and I knocked down all my pink coneflower. What I'm going to do is I took all the black fabric, rocks, everything out of this field. So I'm going to pull up the black landscape fabric around these pink coneflowers and get rid of everything, because then in the spring I could just come through and just mow it all down with a brush cutter. So I could leave all of these seeds and everything for the birds, and I can leave my perennial field, and then I can come in, I think, with like the brush mower and just mow it, take a few swipes, and then I think everything will be good. It might be a weedy mess, who knows? But I do kind of want to mulch. I've decided I want to mulch just up to the plants, and then on my walking rows, maybe do a deep layer of mulch and see if that helps any of the weed suppression. I don't really know if it will, but I'm going to try that. I also got one of my burn piles burned because it snowed the other day, and then today's 60. Iowa weather is just insane. I did give you an update on the Lisianthus, and then I've just been trying to get back at it. It's only February. I cannot believe I can do some of this cleanup right now. I know people say not to clean up early, but when you have a flower farm, that rule just cannot apply. I have so many things out here for the birds, the bees, the butterflies, and I plant more probably than most people for them to survive all summer long, and some of them migrate anyway, so I feel good about it. But I am going to work at getting this all cleaned up. I need to work at getting some mulch, and I might do some changes this year. I'm thinking down here, it's a lot bigger than it was last year, and I've kind of mapped it out. I need to measure it just so I know exactly how many plants, but I think this is mainly going to be sunflowers and zinnias and snapdragons. I'll have my deer fence down here. And then up by the chicken house this year, I might try my Lisianthus and some of the shorter flowers. And some of the ones that might not need as much protection with a deer fence from the deer or the rabbits. So I'm going to see about that. I've also had some ideas about doing some raised beds just for those shorter plants to make them easier. And maybe even grow better. Maybe I could like amend the soil and better. I don't know yet. I'm still deciding on that. But I've just been getting out here. I've been trying to get to it. Hopefully this year doesn't kick my butt as bad, even though I think I've added another quarter to half acre to flowers. So it probably will. But anyway, I am going to get back to it. I just wanted to hop on. I'm trying to give you some updates, and I'll try to put a video together tonight or something. I hope you're all having wonderful weather right now. I really want it to snow again, though. My tulips, I'll take you up there. They're popping out of the ground, which is fine as long as the leaves are showing, as long as the blooms don't come up. If the blooms come up, I mean, it's going to be 60 for the next 10 days at least, and it's 70 one day. So I might have tulips, and if I do, we'll see. But anyway, that's what I'm up to today. I'm happy I got that lavender done. That was a big task. I'm glad my zinnia field's all done and I have this knocked down. I might need to get out my tractor and pull up this landscape fabric, move all of these bricks and logs over there somewhere, and then that's just what I'm going to do. So we have had 2 weeks in February where it has just been so warm. No snow, 70 degrees, 60 degrees. It's just been beautiful. So I just got to work. And a lot of times I didn't get a camera out because I thought it was such a bonus that I had these 2 weeks. And even into the future, tomorrow's 30 degrees and at night it gets down to like 13 degrees. And then the following day it pops back up into the 60s. So huge weather swings. It's a really weird year. My tulips are popping out of the ground. Hopefully that crop isn't lost. Hopefully they still bloom okay at some point in the season. I think they will. I don't see any blooms coming out of the ground yet. It's mainly leaves, and I've read that if the leaves come out of the ground, that's fine. They're used to it. So anyway, I bought 3 pallets of mulch, so 210 bags of mulch. I mulched down some rows at the farm. I mulched down all my rows in the perennial field. I did take some footage of that, so I'll throw that up. As you guys know, I pulled up all my landscape fabric out of my perennial field this year, and I know it's probably going to turn into a weedy mess. I'm hoping I have enough flowers that it just kind of turns into a wildflower field of perennials for Iowa. Well, I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I did have about 1 to 2 foot rows in between all the flowers. So what I did is I bought 2 pallets of mulch just in bags. And I have just been walking them down the rows. I don't have a bucket yet for my tractor, and the bags are a really easy way to like put the mulch where you want it. So yesterday I came out and I got the entire row next to the lavender and the landscape fabric done. I'm really hoping that row doesn't grow weeds, because weed eating around this landscape fabric is a pain. It starts to shred, and then it gets tangled up in your weed eater, and then you have to like clean it all out all the time. So I'm hoping to kind of get rid of that. I have some different landscape fabric too that I'm going to put on the borders of my annual field this year, and see if maybe it doesn't like have those shreds of plastic that wind up in the weed eater as bad. It's only to protect the ground from like where the deer fence is, so I don't have to like mow and try to weed in all of that, and where I can walk. So I'm gonna try it. I'll let you know when I get to that what kind I'm trying, and we'll see how well it works. The other stuff, it doesn't work that good to mow and weed eat around, but I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to finish up these rows. I have another pallet in back. I got almost this whole pallet moved yesterday. And then I also got a pallet for my house so that I can start cleaning up my flower beds at my house, because they have been neglected for a few years now because I started the flower farm and I spend all my time out here, and I was like, if it's gonna be nice for 2 weeks in February, maybe I can get some of these tasks done that I never get done in March or April. So I'm just gonna get to it, and I'll video a little bit of it. I mean, obviously you don't need to see me carrying bags down the field, but I'll let you see a little bit of it. It's definitely a good way to get my steps in. After I get through this pallet, I will probably load up my truck, drive to the end, and it'll be a little bit shorter. Since I started up here, it's just a little bit longer. Okay, this pallet is done. I got quite a bit done. But as you can see, I need to go on down at the bottom and then go around my pink coneflowers. So I have another entire pallet of mulch up there. I'm gonna get my truck, I'm gonna load it up and try to finish off the rest. I trimmed up all of my roses. I've been checking on my tulips. I mulched up some of the areas around the house and around some of the sheds that I have plants growing in. And then I took a pallet at home and I'll flip you around. I've been mulching and digging up weeds because I haven't taken care of my backyard for I think 3 years. I started flower farming and I've spent every spring at the farm, and I thought, what a perfect time. Like, I can actually get the backyard of my house done and I won't be embarrassed for people to come over anymore. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to flip you around and show you what I've done. Doesn't that look so nice when you just have fresh mulch? I did open up, so this concrete table used to be on this patio, but it was sinking the patio all in. So I moved it up on to the yard and put mulch around it. So I expanded this flower bed, and that means I can have more flowers. And then over here, got my metal rooster. And I've just been working on getting everything mulched. I got this side. The rooster's checking out the chicken. And then I've just been slowly getting the mulch done. So I just got around this fence to do, and then along my house. It feels so good to get that done. I'm so excited. Now if the weeds will just stay at bay so that I have a nice spring where I can actually enjoy my backyard, I'll be so excited. But I've just been busy getting to it. I will shoot some videos. My Lisianthus are starting to get bigger. I never thought they would. The Lisianthus that are type 3, those are still dinky Lisianthus, but my 1s and 2s are starting to go for it. So I'm really excited about that. I'll give you some video. And my stalk is getting too big for the trays, and my petunias are getting too big for the trays. So I'm gonna have to pot those up. Tomorrow will be a perfect time for that because it's gonna be 30 degrees. So I'm so excited. But I wanted to give you an update. In the last 2 weeks, I've pretty much moved 3 pallets of mulch, which I've been told each pallet is a little over a ton, so 3 tons of mulch. I've done some weed eating, I've done some cleanup, I've cleaned up my roses, and of course, as I do all of these flower beds, I clean up what was already there. I trimmed my lavender. I did go through at the farm and I trimmed all of my lavender. As you guys know, I took out all the landscape fabric in the perennial field, so it's going to be a mixture of weeds, grasses, and flowers. So it'll probably be a lot like a wildflower field, except for there will be like rows of specific flowers in that wildflower field. But I think that's perfect. I put mulch so I could at least walk down the roads without getting muddy feet. That took quite a bit of mulch. It took about 2 tons of mulch. And hopefully someday I'll have a bucket on my tractor and I can just go through and put it on like that. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. I wanted to jump on and give you guys an update. I hope everybody's having a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one.